Welcome to the channel, everybody. My name is Ryan, and we are back with some more Unreal World today. And we are continuing the Spirit Quest Resurrected series with Athena, the main character and hero or heroine of our adventure. Now, speaking of adventure, we have been on a little trading excursion here. Since it is now the depths of winter, you can see up here the temperature gauge. The blue is pretty close to the bottom. It's dropped even lower than this in the previous couple weeks, but that means that the ice on the map is traversable. So we can ski essentially right over the lakes and rivers, which can hinder our progress in the warmer months. But right now is the ideal time to load up your animals, your pack animals. As you can see, I've got a lot of them too. And fill them up with goods and take them trading. So we have come down here to the Drick culture. That's the turquoise culture here. As you can see, this is my current location. We're right on the edge of it. We started up here, and I've literally uncovered, I think, almost every village. There could be like one or two hidden away over here, or maybe down in the corner too. There was maybe a little bit to be uncovered still right along the edge. But I'm tired of searching villages and stuff. Now, unfortunately, I didn't necessarily find everything I wanted. What I was mainly looking for was a couple of key armor pieces, something for her elbows and something for her knees. That's basically all we need to complete her set. In fact, one of our most recent trades in the previous episode was the male leggings right there. So that's a 23 pounder, but that's definitely going to help protect us from any attacks. So we're, I think, going to go ahead and leave the Drick culture, but our search for new armor is not necessarily over, because what I plan on doing is now keeping one of these bulls with me at all times, in addition to the dogs that we've got too. And I'm going to keep one of the bulls loaded up with fur and stuff. And if we zoom in real quick, I'll show you that the animals, one of the guys already has some furs. Let's just take a little bit of inventory, how much we've currently got. All right, so you can see I've still got a pretty decent stockpile of furs. I tried to save those and not trade with them. Ultimately, we did have to use a couple, but these will actually be good currency for the foreign traders, which is the little blue character you'll see sometimes on the world map. They just kind of appear randomly, so that's why you kind of have to be prepared. If you want to trade with a foreign trader, you do need to have essentially a pack animal with a bunch of furs ready to go. So I'm going to head home. And of course, at the same time, we'll be looking for foreign traders, but it's not actually that far. We're here at this location and we're trying to get to this one. So it's a pretty quick shot. We've definitely made longer journeys, should be fairly safe, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Okay, here we are. You can see it. The white X marks the location of our cabin, our destination, and our home. Thank goodness we have once again arrived. She is pretty tired too. It's only early afternoon, but the trip really took it out of her. Although, unfortunately, she's not ready for bed just yet. We've got a few very critical chores. Whenever we re-enter, our little cabin area, I like to just do a quick walk around of the perimeter, looking for any animals that might have fallen into our traps. Because if they do, it's most likely they're probably rotten at this point, but we might get lucky and maybe we happen to return at just the right time to catch a fresh one. In fact, I think it was this series that we caught an elk in one of these traps, and it was in this fence itself, just down here in one of these drop pits. I think it was that one right there. But the elk had been dead, but it was still fresh when I got to it, so I skinned it. And by the time I had finished skinning it, it had rotted. And we did get a successful skin off of that, but I couldn't get the meat because the corpse was gone rotten. So just goes to show you how critical your timing is when checking some of these traps. But unfortunately, nothing, which, not too bad. Now she can probably go to sleep a little bit earlier. We don't have to worry about butchering and skinning an entire carcass at the same time we're trying to unload all of our gear and stuff. But speaking of which, we do have a whole bunch of trading goods. Well, whole bunch of loot that we brought back after our trading trip. So what I'm going to do is put her to bed for now because she is weary, and then in the morning we'll sort through all the glorious loot we've got. Okay, well, we are back. It is late night, but we just woke up, so it's technically morning for her. But what we're going to do, the first loot, quote unquote, we got were some of the animals that we brought back with us. So I'm in the milking pen. This is the pen where I keep the cows and the female sheep. And I'm going to unleash Boop. That's my newest female sheep, and we'll leave her because we didn't pick up any cows. So we have two sheep now, and we also have two cows. So those will be really helpful once the warmer months come along, and we can actually start to milk these animals again. But for now, I've got to drop off some of the dogs and some of the bulls too. Let's see. I just want to make sure I don't drop the bull that has the furs. There we go. Yeah, I only really need to drop off Bart here. Oh, wait, no, Bart's got some of our loot. Let me go ahead and grab that off him real quick. You can see this as I pull it off him. I think we can carry this. Nope, can't carry it. That's all right, I'll figure it out. But let's just see what we ended up with. Several pots. I got two pots, several nets for sure. We got a perfect net and two fine nets to add to our current collection, which is up to like 5 already. But the 2 bags of salt, that's probably what I can't carry right now. That's the whole one of the big reasons we went down there was for salt, for cooking, and maybe even some preservation if we get real desperate at some point. But as I mentioned too, we got a bunch of good clothing, masterwork quality stuff, and quite a few armor pieces. So let me go ahead and sort out some of this loot, and we'll put on our armor. Well, we'll take a look at the armor. I don't know if there's much reason for her to wear it all at the moment because it's extremely heavy, but I'm anxious to do a little hunting, I think. So we'll probably strip her down as best as possible and get out there into the hunting grounds. Okay, well, I have pretty much stripped her of all her unnecessary stuff. She's at 99 pounds right now, which is quite a lot of weight, but trust me, that's about the best I can do. I could take some of this clothing off right now and probably still be okay, but we're keeping it all on. It is extremely cold right now. So if we rest a little bit, her like bottom endurance penalty is -17. That's the best I can do unless I drop more weight, but that's not terrible. I've killed elk, with shots like that with a much higher endurance. But anyway, let's take a look at some of the loot I did drop off. So this is a collection of like basically my fighting stuff. Well, I threw the shovel in here too, just in case I need to pick it up real quick and dig some holes. But if we were going to go into combat, I would grab the round shield, which is masterwork quality in case we get into up close and personal fighting. And then we've got our helm, the fine mail hobogron, and let's see, an armored short sleeve shirt that covers the shoulders, thorax, abdomen, and groin, and upper arms. So it's always made of mail. That's nice. Then we've got the long mail cowl, which is like a headpiece essentially. Armor covering the skull and neck. Very nice. Sometimes the shoulders. That's the long cowl, which we have actually. Then, of course, the mail mittens. Pretty self explanatory. Glove with separate fingers. Very nice. And the mail leggings, too, which is a fairly rare item. I don't see these in every playthrough, but definitely going to be helpful. They're extremely heavy, too. Even more heavy than the fine mail shirt. And of course, we got a couple of bandages here I dropped as well. But that, like I say, is our combat gear essentially. Now, in the summertime, I'll probably take off, all the fur stuff that we're wearing and even most of the woolen stuff too. And I'll drop it right here at the shelter as well. So this shelter outside the cabin. So yeah, I can pick stuff up. I don't have to walk inside and sort through all this junk here. We've got tons of stuff still. But anyway, that's kind of the explanation there. We've still got a good amount of food too, but like I said, I'm really anxious to get out there and do some hunting. It's been a while since we did hunt, and I'd like to test out this fine northern bow that we picked up. I still haven't shot a single arrow with it, so let's grab our pack, including the big bull, who's loaded up with all the furs. I'm leaving 4 dogs here. I've got 4 with me and 4 staying behind right there, and they're all starving. But regardless, let's get out there and do some hunting. Well, it is good to be back out here in our friendly hunting grounds. There's no purple tribes that have popped up since we've been gone, so everything is safe. There are several purple tribes over here. These popped up right around the same time that we took out this settlement right here. This was one of the main body of their culture. This was a part of like their big civilization here, but we took it out. You can see the remains of the village are there. But that's about it. There's nothing there but bones. So we probably won't return. I don't see us doing a lot of offensive assault. We're just going to protect this area here. This is our hunting ground. As I mentioned, there is a friendly settlement right here. It's just a very small one. It's literally one of these that has a single cabin to it, which indicates it's pretty small compared to some of those other bigger, like Drick settlements that we just came from. But it is time to just kind of mosey around and see. We're actually chilly right now, too. Dang, look at the temperature gauge. It's literally almost bottomed out. So, you know what? Let's pass a little time since it's still early morning. What we're going to do is find the nearest small tree like this. And let's go ahead and knock some branches off. This is something very commonly done whenever I've got very little clothing and I'm struggling in the wintertime, trying to move about the world map. I have to stop super often and do this exact same thing, cut down a bunch of trees. But it's not even really that important. We could probably still maintain our chilly stature and go about our business until the sun comes out a little bit more. I don't know, but it's just good. We'll start a fire here. I thought I pushed it. Oh, I pushed it onto the dog. Dang it. Hold on. Okay. Well, I was trying to push the spruce twigs onto the slender trunks so I could start a fire, and the dog got in the way, and I pushed him onto the dog. But I've got it going here. You can see we are still chilly, so I'm just going to let some time pass a little bit. A little bit more. There we go. Now we're rather warm. There we go. She's sweaty again. So now we are good and warm. Let's go ahead and zoom back out and continue our travels. Okay, well, once again, we have zoomed into the terrain map and started a little fire by cutting down the tree. And it's time for bed. I'm nervous about trying to fall asleep too. We wouldn't necessarily freeze to death in our sleep, but it would wake us up and tell us we were cold if our clothing couldn't handle it. And right now, I mean, if there's any point where we should be building a fire, it's now. The temperature is literally gone. You can't even see it. So we're just going to lay down right next to this fire and hope the snow doesn't wake us up. Nope, looks good. Fire stayed lit all night. It is the small hours of the morning, and there was no snow. So I tell you, we are in the depths of winter, though. You can see it is day one of the 12th week before summer season. So in case you're unfamiliar, the game essentially only recognizes like winter and summer. Fall and spring don't get their own recognition in the calendar. But what it does is it counts down between the two. So you'll be looking at the spring will probably come at like the fourth or fifth week before the summer season. We'll start to see some of the ice melt, some certain types of early berries and herbs will start to grow and stuff. And then, of course, that leads into the summer. But anyway, we're kind of right now in the just absolute depths of winter. But think of it like this: every day that passes at this point is a step closer towards the warm summer season. Oh my gosh, check it out. So I have encountered literally nothing. Well, that's not true. I've encountered two squirrels, but I've passed on those. We're too important to be hunting squirrels right now. Those are beneath us, even though they're technically above us usually. But no, I have encountered a human shaped figure. I'm tempted to go ahead and just wander into this, see what it is, but it could be robbers. And I don't like that. We've encountered two, I think, groups of robbers in this series, but we managed to get away both times without a fight. Now, we do have four dogs with us, but honestly, I don't know. I'm just bored, moving around the world map. Sometimes you're going over the same territory again and again. I've actually pushed out a little bit. We're over here, pretty far from our cabin. It's really not ideal to be hunting this far away, but in the winter it's okay. Plus, we got plenty of dogs and our bull to carry any extra meat, but it's safer if I don't encounter any humans out here. It's just better, there's less risk in it. It's probably just a guy out hunting with his dog, but and you never know. Oh no, 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 no. We just caught a cold. We got the flu again. Ah, well, it makes sense. It is freezing out here, but man, well, you know what? Just in case, I have been carrying around this sorrel beverage, which is what we crafted up the last time I had the flu. And I'm not sure if we can attribute our, recovery to this beverage, but it was part of it. So I'm definitely going to drink that little bit we've got. Let's drink this too. And we might as well just go ahead and head home. Oh, you know what? I just noticed there's one of these little villages right here. This is the one we were looking at earlier. I've been going around in circles so much. But this is good because now we can go to bed next to a fire instead of sleeping out in the. Has this got a lit fire in it? No, they're sleeping next to a cold one. The tent can also potentially have a fire in the middle. There we go. I can see it glowing. Yay. All right, so we'll lay down and sleep here. Oh, that's good. Now we wake up. We're warm. Yeah, we're not out in the wilderness trying to sleep with the flu. But she probably still has the flu. Yes, she does. Let's go ahead and drink our sorrel beverage. Eat some of the food. I was getting a little bit low on food anyway, so I think it's time to head back to the cabin and refill on that. And also, I'm taking the flu more seriously now than I used to. I'll tell you that much. After my previous experience, I want to say that we came pretty close to dying. Oh, look, it's getting worse there. All right, we got to rush home. Okay, we have made it back here. And of course, we still have the flu. Hasn't told me it's gotten worse or anything yet, though. But what I'm going to do is just tie up the animals down here to this tree. It's easier, especially in the winter when you've got skis on, to just tie the animals up so I don't have to go back and forth over the fence. In the summertime, it's not such a big deal, but there we go. Plus, when you want to go and grab them again, you don't have to rope up each individual animal. You just go up to the tree and grab all the ropes at once. So, tying them to a tree is pretty handy. But anyway, I think it's time to spend a couple of days here at the house. Hey, maybe it gives it a good opportunity to do some cooking too. Okay, well, we are here in the cabin. I've got the fire lit. All our cooking stuff is near at hand. And we've still got some nettle leaves. I double checked. It says when boiled, strengthens the lungs and relieves disorders of the chest, which I think our influenza is part of that. So this is going to be the best. Now, the sorrel might be okay, but I don't actually know what it does when we boil it. Now, I already have, as you've seen, I've already boiled some and drank it, and it's not going to be poisonous. If you can eat it, then you can drink it too. But let's go ahead and grab some of our supplies. I'm just going to grab everything here. We're going to be pretty loaded down, but she can rest a little bit. Probably won't affect the cooking outcome too much, but it's good to rest. And all right, let's start with the herbal beverages. We'll do some real cooking here in a second. I did grab some stuff, but we'll get the nettle broth going. Just do a maximum amount. We got a bag full of water. Let's use our wooden tub of water. That's what that's for. And just one of our mini pots. I've been grabbing it. I've got like 7 of them now, which is good because, like I said, I want to do a whole variety of different recipes. Oh, that reminds me too. I did leave this kvass drink behind. We crafted this up. It's like a fermented rye, and you eat it. It says drink, but you actually go in and eat it. We're a little bit hungry, so let's have a bite of that. Nice, nice. Did we finish it off? I think we did. Yeah, I think we just finished our kvass. So we'll finish off, or we'll have a bite of the tasty dried reindeer. Just looking at what everything else is ingredients right now. I've got my salt with me. I dropped one bag off in the cellar, and the other one I think I'm going to keep here inside the cabin. There we go. So we just ate. Delicious. She's actually kind of tired, but let's see. Okay, the nettle beverage is done. We'll save that. We'll drink that in the morning. Maybe there's something we can bake or something and then go to sleep, and it'll be ready by the morning time. So let's check baking recipes. Swirl tack. That looks interesting. What is that? I need hemp flour. Oh, I don't have hemp flour. I do have rye or barley flour. I don't think I have hemp flour. I don't think I know what hemp seeds look like. Otherwise, I could probably identify them and crush them up myself. But sure, her knowledge of herb lore is terrible. Anyway, let me go through some of these recipes. You can see there's quite a bit. I'll see if there's anything we can do. Maybe, wait, hold on. Salty biscuit. Oh, I need 12 pounds of another kind of loaf. Okay, interesting. Well, let's check it out. Okay, well, here is the recipe for the Korovai loaf or whatever it's called. And it wants a heated fireplace, which we have. Oh, meaning, oh, it probably needs to. It says a fireplace can be used as an oven after burning proper amount of wood there, but not before the fire is completely burnt out. So, okay, we need to wait till this fire burns out before we can bake this. Fire will burn till early evening. Right now it's afternoon. You know what I'm thinking about? We need a second stove, don't we? That would make the baking process easier. There's no reason I can't do one right here next to it, because then I could have like two different fires going. One of them could be, cooking something. The other can be just low on coal or something, just with low coals, I should say, for baking purposes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like that idea. All right, well, that's my new mission. Since we can't make the bread yet, we're going to go and I'll drop all of that stuff we've got. Don't worry, though, we're still going to do plenty of cooking, but I'm going to drop it and we're going to collect up 35 stones. Hey, all right. Well, I've been moving rocks for a little while, and I just got the notification that our influenza eases a little bit. Let's see. We still do have it, so it can fluctuate, go back and forth, but at least that's a good notification, right? So, anyway, like I said, I've got 9 stones. Found that's her maximum that she can carry. I'm 4 short. So, it's time to head back out here. Let's go ahead and do this last trip together. I have been scouring this mountain. We got really lucky. I looked and looked for a perfect site with one of these alder groves right next to a lake, and I found it and happened to get extra lucky and have a mountain just nearby. But like I said, I've already gone to this location like 4 times now and pretty much scoured the whole thing for the big stones. There's a few little rocks here and there, but no big stones left here. So whenever you have an absence of mountainous range or hills, what you can do is come to a lakeside like this. We've got this nice big lake here. Now, I can ski over it, but I want to stick close to the edge of it here. I'm hoping this isn't a spot I've already searched, but I don't think it is. So yeah, oops, there's one in the forest right there. So I'm going to grab that one, but you'll occasionally stumble across some in the forest, but your best case, in my experience, is to follow along the lakeside. And especially you'll see big stones like at the curve of a river or a lake where it turns. But you also see them, just like I said, along the edges here too. So this is what I'll do now, since I don't have another mountain nearby. And I don't want to, yep, there's one. I don't want to spend too much time looking for mountains when I can, like I say, just come, boom, here we go. This is a good example. There's 3 stones right here within easy reach all along the lake shore. All right, well, here we go. I've assembled all the stones we need. Whoops, that's the wrong item. Let's go into the wooden building and go for fireplace. Yeah, fireplace. Let's do that. It's weird it calls it a fireplace, because when you look at it, it calls it a stove. But when I go to the look function and hit that, it says, no, it says fireplace there too. Whoopsie, my bad. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking of the sauna stove, I believe. But anyway, we are exhausted now, so let us just rest a little bit. I need to grab some food from the cellar, but I want to get this complete. So repeat. There we go. Get this done. Beautiful. We've got ourselves 2 fireplaces now. I'm realizing it would have been better if I had put a gap in between them, and then I could put the firewood in the middle and I could push them into either side. You know what I'm saying? Now it's going to be a little bit awkward. I'd have to keep firewood in this spot and over there. But that's not the end of the world, because I would still, really to make it ideal, I'd need to deconstruct the one in the middle she's currently facing, and then move it to this spot. So I'll just move this firewood out of the way, deconstruct it, and then we've got the material, so I don't have to go get more stone. I'm Because when you deconstruct something, you get the exact amount of materials back. You don't lose any in the deconstruction, like in some games. So it would be easy just to reconstruct it. It just takes some time. I think I will do that because it'll make things so much more efficient. And we have a perfect amount of space right here next to the door. So might as well put in the extra effort and make things work just as they should. But I think that's going to do it for today, guys. I have confidence we're going to get over this flu. But we might not be able to do any hunting until it warms up a little bit. Some of the animals come out during the springtime, but we'll see, guys. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all on the next one.